We love you.
From the bottom of my heart, family, loving you guys. From the bottom of his heart.
Yeah, we love you, brother.
I love you From the cockles of my heart.
We love you.
Hey, love you guys.
Brothers.
I love you, family. Loving you
guys.
guys.
Both of you. We love you. We love you. We love you.
Hey, did I tell you guys I love you yet today?
We love you. We love you.
Now we will come together one at a time, within the masses being led by the blind. We will come together one at a time, within the masses being led by the blind. Now we will come together one at a time. Once we realize that we don't have to mow, we can stop today and just let the plants grow. The food and the medicine appearing from the ground, 'cause when we leave her alone, Mother Earth will abound. Leave her alone and Mother Earth will abound. Just leave her alone and Mother Earth will abound. Just leave her alone, Mother Earth will abound. Recall another lifetime to the ages long ago, hunting, gathering, wandering, singing, and comforting in the fire's glow. There I was a part of nature, nature was a part of me, a life of mud, a life of blood, life with all in unity. I recall another lifetime to the ages long ago, hunting, gathering, wandering, singing, and comforting in the fire's glow. There I was a part of nature, nature was a part of me, a life of mud, a life of blood, life with all in unity. Life of mud and life of blood and life with all in unity.
We have created a space where magic can exist.
Well, I feel that rainbow is a spiritual thing.
I heard about rainbow when I was 21, hitchhiking around the country.
Everybody else out in the world seems pretty stuck in the patterns that we've created.
Maybe it's utopia, maybe it's a vision.
It's taught me a lot about how to survive on my own.
But I think coming back to the earth and coming back to a simple kind of lifestyle in the woods, to sort of consider there's water, there's wood, you have to protect against the cold. It takes people out of this capitalist attitude of consuming all the time.
I like the rainbow gathering because it's about freedom.
I love you. Welcome home. These are some of the things that people say at a gathering that you wouldn't necessarily hear out in the world.
The energy of the gathering here it's so diversified because it's all the microcosm of everybody in the world.
I feel that this is how humans are supposed to be living with each other. Our oneness is our power.
You're going to sit down next to somebody and they're going to tell you they love you.
Some people don't understand what it is, but see, what rainbow really is this, or to me, that wherever grass grows, wherever wind blows, wherever sun shines, it does so upon a natural child of God, natural child of humankind, and my natural spiritual brother or sister, no matter who they are. And so I lived on that premise, and so all of us who ride the rainbow way, the creed of the rainbow, is simple. You know, you want to be a brother and sister, then we're brother and sister. If you don't want to be a brother and sister, then you're not. But we still recognize that. And whoever arrives at home at the gathering and helps with the gathering and calls themselves Rainbow is the Rainbow Family Tribe.
There's just so much war, and just, I don't know, it's always been time for peace.
The Rainbow Family has been gathering on National Forest Service land since 1972 when we held our first national gathering near Estes Park, Colorado. We believe there was a record attendance of 40,000 people.
In the beginning, it was inviting everybody in the world, religious leaders, to just come together in peace and pray for peace on earth. And that's what's been happening for 37 gatherings. This is gathering 37.
Everybody saddled up their packs, 4,000 people, marched to the roadblock, singing, dancing, blowing bubbles, waving pinwheels and banners, and essentially saying without words, Here we are. We come in peace. Do what you have to do.
And I'd like to share the story of the first rainbow gathering. Grandfather David, a Hopi elder, who showed up at the gathering. And there he was, telling us about the prophecy. When all the air is getting polluted and the waters are being polluted and the trees are being chopped down and things don't look too good for the human race, that there would be a new race born of all the races, of all the colors, and all the places. And these people would be known as warriors of the rainbow. And they would have feathers in their hair and grow their hair, and they would live and die for the earth. They would do anything for nature. And they will get out there and help save the planet. And there will be a sign, he said. The sign will be, there will be a white buffalo. And we were in Colorado mountains, and there was snow on the mountains right in front of us. And they melted, the snow melted and left the shape of a white buffalo. And Grandfather David pointed at the white buffalo. He said, the prophecy has come.
It was a unique period in time, you know, and I think what we saw with the Rainbow Gathering in 1972 was part of the national healing process after the Vietnam War. You know, the coming together of veterans and peace activists to heal their wounds and create something new.
When we got together, we were so volatile from being in the war and other shit, and so stressed out. See, I do this for my stress disorder. I have post-traumatic stress disorder from being in the military. Okay, they don't want to give me my claim, but I have that. And I have it for all these years. Okay, now, we figured out something. Okay, for one, we started rescuing brothers that came out of the war who we found in the streets. It's just like, one day they'd be in Vietnam, 3 days later they'd be standing in the streets of Seattle in the middle of the night, not even knowing where the hell they were. You know, and there's many like that walking around even in this gathering here. But you know what we used? We figured out that this is our way of service. This is our karma. We can't overcome what we did.
We were kids who were schooled over the past years in 275 battlegrounds in Vietnam. We knew how to use radios. We knew how to move supplies. We knew how to coordinate with people.
So we figured out we can't ever have leaders. We can't ever follow again. I'll never join like that vibe ever again. I served my country. I gave my oath to John Kennedy, and I served the Constitution of this country, planet Earth. I'm a Montanan and I'm an American. I resent being called anything but that.
So at the end of the first gathering, I had to ask myself the question, is this the end or the beginning of the Rainbow Trail? And for better or worse, for lucky or unlucky, for stuck with it or glad of it, it really was the beginning of the Rainbow Trail.
People come here and they set up. And they set up walkways, they set up a main circle, they make kitchens.
The kitchen infrastructure is incredible. A lot of people can't bake at home. You go to the oven ovens, and they are, you know, in Rainbow terminology, kicking down some really incredible food. I was over there the other night and had some sticky buns. People are baking 10,000 sticky buns a day in the middle of the woods, you know, practically in the wilderness, miles from anything. This is incredible infrastructure. How to work with available materials, you know, mud, you know, and a little bit of bonding agent to put something together and ultimately build these ovens, which will, after a week, dry out and crumble apart. And you break them down, they're gone. Kitchens also have some incredible, you know, counter space, you know. I've seen 2-story kitchens with, you know, with storage space way off the ground. You know, incredible infrastructure. It's a labor of love. using available materials, building these wild structures, you know, these mechanisms.
To me, it seems that a rainbow kitchen not only serves food, but it serves light and love and energy.
And kitchens are also kind of like a hub, you know, where people can gather at night or where they know they can be safe. Because the whole theme of rainbow gatherings is to find a place to plug in. You know what I mean? Find a place where you feel like you fit in or you want to be and you work there. So kitchens provide a space for operation, a space for people to do this bhakti yoga, this devotional service.
I hope a bunch of kitchens gather some, like, finish hooking up pipelines, ran on water runs for places, you know, just general things.
Water runs, wood collection.
Yeah, wood collection.
It's not just a place where people eat. It's not just about cooking food, but kitchens tend to be focal points for community.
The Rainbow Kitchen is serves a crucial role at the Rainbow Gatherings because people come really not prepared to survive. So the kitchens, they have been doing this for several years and they feel a calling or an inspiration or a motivation to feed the family. So they bring forward as much food as possible. They set up a safe zone, a kitchen, and they give really opportunities to people to plug in and really fully participate in the Rainbow Gathering by collecting wood for the fire, chopping the vegetables, making the food, serving the food, eating the food. Everyone really feels part. Kitchen needs apple choppers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Kitchen needs apple choppers! So although a kitchen may have a name, it's really not a closed-door policy.
I'm making sushi here at NYC Purple Gang. We do it every year, and we have vegetable sushi and tofu and fish, and it's a lot of fun. Everybody's pitching in.
Barbacore, tuna fish, lots of sea fish.
Some people come to the gathering not understanding that you can't just drink any water. Some people get really, really thirsty. You're beating drums. 3 hours, 4 hours. And your mouth is so dry, and there's somebody coming by just offering you water.
Water has always really impressed me. The fact that rainbows come in and plumb the forest, lay miles of water line with gravity feeds that can lift water up over hills and put spigots throughout the gathering. Tap springs, tap creeks.
At Rainbow, you learn that water's heavy. It's not something you think about very much on the outside. When you start hauling it around, yeah, it's a struggle.
When the national rainbow gatherings meet in America, you know, there's anywhere from 10 to 50,000 people. There's a lot of stuff when we're all done. When the large part of the gathering is over after the 7th of July, a lot of people go home. And then there's specific cleanup crews that go around and they make sure that the place is as close to possible as the way we left it.
Well, we're trying to recycle all of it, you know. We're trying to get, that's our goal. That's our goal, is to recycle things, get it back into the system, keep batteries out of landfills, you know, because that poisons the groundwater.
This gathering was, I believe, the first community in America, maybe in the world, actually to do source separation recycling. We taught ourselves that it's possible to recycle what we use. Now most cities do it. We don't need credit for it. What we need is more cities doing it.
First of all, is get all the stuff out.
We are only here for like 2-3 weeks, and afterwards it's completely disappeared. The camp, there's no trace of it. We disappeared the fire pits and, you know, renaturalized the ground cover and all of that.
And then we have a crew that comes through and does micro. They do micro trash, and they get, you know, even the little stuff, you know, cigarette butts, everything, you know. And once we get that, there's the last guy out. And he's always off and looking, and he's a good friend of mine, you know. I've personally went and got him back in October in certain gatherings.
Because how could we be, you know, rainbow people speaking these things of peace and love and unity, and then we go and trash Mama Earth?
The Girl Funk Theater came to be with a bunch of crazy-ass kids running around on Grateful Dead tour. And now it's like a family tradition, pretty much. It's become that, you know.
Basically, we wanted to create a space that appealed to all the senses, a place where no one would go away unfed, from the youngest to the oldest. If it wasn't the music, it was the dance. If it wasn't the dance, it was the literature. If it wasn't the literature, it was the food, and so on and so forth. The Granola Funk also builds a huge theatrical stage out of wood and whatever else we can find or throw together. We give a platform for people to speak their mind. Art is fleeting. And we build this thing, it takes us 6 or 7 days to build it. So you make those incision cuts first. You try, put your foot on it, make the incision cuts first, knock it back gently.
You gotta be careful up here.
A safety railing up here. And after we get that, we should do art stuff on that. You know what I mean? To round the structure.
Thank you very much.
So much great entertainment tonight. This show is going to blow your mind.
We also pride ourselves on being a non-dogmatic place. A lot of the places at Rainbow Gatherings, you know, have a very specific spiritual nature, which is great. You know what I mean? There's Christians and Krishnas and Buddhists and Muslims and pagans and atheists, and the Granola Funk prides itself in being a eclectic but non-denominational and bipartisans, you know, and accepting to all cultures and all, which in theory all rainbow people are.
Love that falls upon the weak and weary. Love that brings the darkness to its knees.
Many cultures, you know, sing and carry on their traditions through music and song and also through writing. But I see the Rainbow family, and once again, in my opinion, as a very oral group. And we share a lot of our messages and a lot of our culture through song and through music.
You will find a lot of folks playing their music, you know, music they have written or come up together. You'll see everything from belly dancers to jugglers to little Susie, you know, 4-year-old Susie singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to a crowd of 1,000.
We love you.
Welcome home.
All I know is that the world is where I wanna be. With the wild nights and the wild dreams and the wild tobacco to soothe our stings, all right. I just bought a pickup with farm use tags. If I could just find my daddy's real name, I get back my license and I buy her a ring, or we could just fast our hands. It's all the same out here. All I know is that the wild is where I wanna be. With the wild nights and the wild dreams and the wild tobacco to soothe our stings, all right. Hey, 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 hey. I promised we'd make love all the way to Walmart in the back of our resurrected Subaru, with Big Mama at the wheel. There wasn't nothing I wouldn't say or do for her.
You know, you started gatherings, you know, la-da-da-da-da, we're having a good time, da-da-da-da, hippies, oh, somebody's got a baby, oh, look at that, what's going to happen now? We're going to disappear? You know, is the gathering going to be supportive for the elderly and the children? Because if it's not community, right?
Kiddie Village is a representation of our future. It's where a lot of the mothers and the fathers go and the children go. It's supposed to be our safest place, our healthiest place, our most wholesome place, our most healing place.
In the 21st century, people are constantly plugged in, you know? If you're not talking on your cell phone, it's there. It's going to disturb you at any moment, you know? It just can just ring up and give you any kind of good news, bad news. What are you doing? Where are you? People have wires sticking out of their ears, listening to music, not experiencing where they are. It's not happening here. You know, it's a break from the media torrent, and I think that's really important and evident in Kids Village. You go in there, and a lot of these kids, you know, who haven't been to gatherings before, for the first time in their life, these are the first media-free days they've ever experienced.
Kid Village offers a significant portion of foundation to reality of long-standing community. Because if you can't take care of the children and you can't take care of the old people, you ain't got nothing.
We also try to let them be free, get a little dirty, mess up a little bit, but all in all, it's a celebration. And singing and dancing in Kiddie Village, there's nothing like it.
The mighty forest, the rainbow sings tonight. In the forest, the mighty forest, the rainbow sings tonight. On my way, way up Troy, way up. We love you. We love you. We
Starts this wave. It's magnificent.
There's a lot of theories, some of which are kind of crazy, on what exactly the feds are doing here. But if you look at the official stories, and I never really kind of was able to get a coherent official story out of the federal government. The official stories don't make any sense. So what we're left with is crazy theories.
The incident command team is a kind of FEMA-based process for unifying law enforcement in multiple agencies.
Oh, when I get a word by I walk away.
I do that when I'm smart, but at the moment I'm not. There's a footprint out there. If you recall, that's what I talked about at the meeting that you folks had. This is already all the way up to the Washington office.
Because they're pretty good about
This
repairing.
is already being discussed in a lot of political circles that are way above me, and I guarantee you that next year, this is going to be remembered.
And in a good world, there's nothing really wrong with this kind of coordination. But in a world where there are power politics, and there are prejudices, and there are still so many aggressive attitudes, we have a problem where incident command turns us into an emergency so they can test and field test what I can only call oppressive and totalitarian practices on free people.
You know, when they come in, I've always suggested, let's say welcome home, Forest Service. Not any other sort of idiom, but just welcome home, you know, so they feel part of this, because they're really not outside of this. They're human beings, and therefore they're part of the Rainbow family.
I remember back in the day when law enforcement would come in the gathering, and they respected that they were in a cathedral of nature, that they were in some place where people were coming to pray.
So I got down on my knees and I started oming.
Get the guns out of Kid Village, please.
And they just started indiscriminately shooting people.
The incident command team has come in here with paintball guns that are filled with pepper gas pellets. They've used them in Kid Village.
He just got shot in the face! Get him one! Get him one! Here, wash your face. Bend down.
He stood right there and pointed a gun right at us. Like we were going to hurt him or something.
Pointed a gun at us.
Yeah.
He pointed a gun at her.
You're gonna win! You're gonna love karma! Fuck you! Fuck your birthday! Fuck you! Birthday! Fuck you!
Oh my God, that's Kiddie Village. That's where all the children of this camp are, like, and their like parents. That's where they're all camped. There was probably a good 80 children within the general vicinity of the fucking gun.
They were shooting everyone. I got shot at. I'm pregnant. I'm 2 months pregnant.
There were men 3 feet from me being shot, and I could see the impact, and I could see, them bend over in pain, and you could see the bruises on their body. And they have this white powder, which is a irritant. If it gets on your skin, it burns. It got in your throat, it burns. It burned your eyes.
A woman she looked probably about like her early 30s, maybe late 20s, was walking her dog, and they grabbed her and maced her in her face, and she just fell, and they weren't she was just crying, and that's when we got on our knees and, told them that we loved them, and it was horrible.
The law enforcement branch of the Forest Service has long time been in control. They tried to be the people that guide how the gathering goes.
This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And we are exercising our right to peaceably assemble on national lands which belong to all of us.
This is the front line in that good old-fashioned conservative American struggle to preserve the Constitution.
I think people misunderstand what we're doing here. There are some people who are doing things that I don't particularly approve of or wouldn't even do myself. But we are about freedom and freedom of expression. As long as there's no harm being done, we're about freedom.
Great. You look just like a bunch of cattle. This is great. Talk to him. What's up, you guys? Let's keep going. Move now. Move.
Why don't you leave, man? Just leave. It'll end the conflict.
You know that it'll leave.
Just leave.
Brother, walk a little faster for us.
You're not going to get all 30,000 of us.
This is the Forest Rangers camp. They like to do this.
The worst part, though, was after it was all done, there was this little girl. She was probably about 3, and she was in her dad's arms, and she was terrified. She was crying and shaking, and it was such a sad sight to see.
You had this attack on July 3rd. In all fairness, you can only describe it as obscene. Going in and shooting these weird weapons in basically a daycare center, Kiddie Village. On July 4th, you have this beautiful, silent peace meditation.
Well, when I come here on the 4th of July, I know this is where I'm supposed to be.
My main purpose for coming to the gathering is the 4th of July silent meditation that we do for world peace. And it's the most powerful prayer that I've ever been a part of.
We're silent till noon, which is really powerful, just seeing all these people just walking around in silence. And then the Kid Village comes in a parade, and the silence is broken, and everyone's holding hands and oming, and then it all breaks free, and then world peace happens.
The prayer on the 4th, for me, is the core, the nectar, the cherry on top of it all.
On the 4th of July, the whole gathering is silent, except for the occasional, whatever, village squire or barking dog or crying baby. It's relative silent. And when you get 20, 40, 50,000 people that have been making commotion for days, if not weeks, and all of a sudden it's just like the wind that you can hear right now. And there's a mystical thing in that. Most people, you know, don't go silent in their entire day except for when they sleep.
Came for the spirit. I came for it so I don't ever have to ever come back again, although I probably will, because I've had such a beautiful time in this most magical of places. I mean, I've never seen such beauty in nature before.
All the peoples and all the karma of the different peoples is here, in our blood, in our skin. You know what I mean? And by us sharing this food, sharing the drums, sharing the dance, we're working it out electromagnetically.
We come here every year. It's because we need to come here.
We arrive. We have no idea who each other's going to be. Most of us don't even know our names. The name does not matter. It's the fact that we give and share this gathering to others, and we recognize everyone as our brothers and sisters.
If we evolve, the planet will evolve.
The fundamental ideas that developed in the roaring 1960s are the right ideas. The ideas of civil rights, of human equality, of the need for everybody to have dignity, of the rights of everybody, whether they are a prisoner or a president, that the rights of people are the royal road to evolving a better situation for everybody.
A rainbow gathering is like an acupuncture needle on the earth.
So the rainbow gathering and the whirling rainbow is kind of like the dawn of the new day. And so rainbow gathering is a time to remind everybody that it's not as bad as you think it is out there, that we have to make it the way we want it to be, and now is the time to do it.
A rainbow gathering to me is what America is supposed to be.
It's really difficult to look at this as a political event, but you've got to put it into context of what's going on in the United States right now. And what looks like just a bunch of people hanging out, blissing out, if you will, in the woods, actually is probably one of the most radical things happening in the United States right now.
Only real question is how much destruction is going to happen before we get to a peaceful world. I am absolutely, even in this day and age, 2008, I'm absolutely convinced that humanity has a spread of thousands of years of peace and partying together and prosperity and plenty and joyousness. The only question is, how much more destruction are we going to let happen before we wise up and pull ourselves together and move as a species toward those kind of goals?
Mother, mother, oh mother, mama, 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 you're in the fire, you get us higher, ma, forever we are in love with thee, ma, everybody, ma, come with me, ma, sing out to her, ma, pray to her, shout out to her, give to her, call out to the mother, Mother Mary, Mother Kali, Mother Isis, Yemaya, oh mama, oh mama, oh mama, oh mama, 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 Here we go with the brace. See the tree of life? I took a bite. Some people call it sinning, but I got no home, mother. Nature's my wife, and Lord, I call this living. I was lost, but now I'm found with the family here. I got my head in the clouds, my feet down on the ground. I was lost, now I'm found. I got my head in the clouds, my feet on. Take the brakes, turn them up. Yo, baby. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was lost, but now I'm found. Got my head in the clouds and my feet on the ground. I was lost, now I'm found. Alright, here we go. You're the only one who can make yourself sad, my brothers and sisters. And you're the only one who can make yourself happy. Don't blame it on me now. You're the one that locks yourself up in a cage, my friends, and you're the only one who can set yourself free. I was lost, but now I'm found. Say it, family.